Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcats Sports Network. It's time for our weekly visit with McKendree football coach Mike Babcock. And coach, the Bearcats last week had their hands full heading east for the final time this year to take on number 16 ranked University of Indianapolis. The Greyhounds got out to a quick start and built their big lead on the way to a 48-10 victory. Talk about that game, the fact that the Bearcats really didn't show any quit. They battled for 4 quarters last Saturday against a nationally ranked team.
You know, that was the one thing I gave them credit for. I think early on, I think the steam came out of us just a little bit, just with the ability of UIndy to be able to run the ball and run it effectively. And then for us not to be able to get really much going offensively for a little while. You know, we did some nice things, and then all of a sudden we struggled. You know, we came out of half, you know, being able to march all the way down the field and yet throw an interception in the end zone. So, you know, obviously a hot and cold day. You know, a couple good performances, but obviously just a bad feeling in your mouth afterwards.
You talked about some of the new things that you worked out last week. You ran the Wildcat several plays, especially a couple of drives in the second half, and it showed some success. The Bearcats, for the first time this year, running out the Wildcat. You had Jace Franklin, you had Preston Thompson, finding seams to run up. Talk about that Wildcat.
You know, really at the end of the day, we're just trying to find ways to move the ball. You know, it's something that we hadn't shown on film. We felt like, you know, to be able to get an extra blocker if we are going to run the ball out of it. You know, so I thought we had some success, and I think that's why we were able to move the ball just a little bit in the running. I don't think anybody could have passed, you know, in it. I know that UIndy only passed the ball 5 times in the game. We attempted to only do it 12. You know, I mean, at 25-mile-an-hour winds, you got to find a way to run the ball. So I thought we had some success doing that. You know, I thought it was a nice job by then. So, again, just trying to find ways to move the ball.
Preston Thompson, another workmanlike effort for him, 90 yards, leading the Bearcats again in rushing. He's a guy that's averaging 100 yards per game on the ground, and when you need to pound out yards in big times, he's the guy to turn to.
You know, he's kind of that workhorse right now. I mean, I like all 3 of our running backs. I think they do a nice job. You know, Preston just happens to have just got a couple more carries in the game by chance more than anything. But I think he does a great job. I think Jace Franklin does a good job. And, you know, even Jericho Johnson coming in at the end, you know, when we were able to run the ball a little bit towards the end of the game, scoring a touchdown. I think we got a good group of running backs, but I think Preston's having a nice senior season right now.
Some 2 players on special teams that had some numbers that really stood out. Josh Lazaro with a career-long 47-yard field goal in the second quarter. Looked like he had plenty of distance to spare on that one. And then Monty Wolke, guy comes in averaging a little over 42 yards per punt, adds to that average, has a 69-yard punt, a couple other big punts, and manages to pin the ball back deep inside opponent territory once again.
Yeah, you know, you talked about Josh Lazaro. I know he was excited about the 47-yarder. With that wind, it was almost a chip shot, you know, but not to take anything away from Josh. I think I did a nice job with that. You know, Monty, he was in the back of my ear, you know, as we were approaching the corner, you know, saying, hey, could we get to the next quarter? Just because the wind was howling quite a bit. And I said, yep, we got it. You know, and he was able to have some nice punts. I preferred if he wasn't out there at all, meaning that we're going down the field, and I think he feels the same way. But in all honesty, like you said, he had a great day, able to change field position. And that's what we needed out of those 2 guys.
So the Bearcats moved to 4-4 on the year, 2-2 in GLVC play, back home for the next 2 games, including our Saturday contest, Homecoming, against William Jewell College. And it's a William Jewell team that comes in, always puts up a good battle against McKendree, and it makes it a difficult read for you guys, especially in game week, to try and prepare for a difficult team like that.
You know, watching them on film, you know, I feel like this is probably the best William Jewell team that I've seen, you know, in the last 5 years. I think they've got a great quarterback. You know, I think he's able to make plays. You know, they spread the ball out. They want to run zone read and throw the ball a little bit. I think they've got some good running backs too. I think once they get into open space, they're tough to tackle, and I think that's why they've been successful. Defensively, usually out of a 3-down front, but they're all over the place. You know, they're lining up in this front, that front, blitzing from here and there. I think what they do is good, and I think it gives offenses some troubles if they're not ready for it. So again, preparing our guys to be able to go against something like that, and even trying to get our quarterback to realize, you know, hey, this is the coverages, this is what you're seeing. They do a lot of stuff defensively that just kind of throws a wrinkle in what you're trying to do. So, but a good team, if you look at their whole season so far, really other than maybe 2 games, every game is close. You know, they're battling their tails off in a lot of these games. So if you're not ready for it, you know, they could come and truly make it a good game and even try and steal a win.
Your team's in what they call the home stretch now. 3 games remaining in the regular season, especially 2 at home. What has been the message this week to your team in practice?
I mean, just continue to get better. You know, you should be playing your best football at the end of the season, and it really doesn't matter who you're playing. You know, if you're playing a quality opponent like William Jewell, if you're playing whomever, really, is to be able to, you know, come out there and kind of give it your all. And my last message to them was kind of define your why. You know, obviously the season, you know, has been a tough season for a lot of guys. You know, we're sitting right at 500 right now. You know, we got 3 games left on the docket. What's your why? You know, why do you want to be out here for the last 3 games? You know, is it personal? Is it for your teammates? Is it for the seniors? Is it for the coaches, your parents, for yourself, whomever? What's your why that's going to get you past these next couple games and to be able to finish strong, to finish on a high note, to be able to say that this 2018 season is, you know, my season, regardless of the wins or losses. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it everything that I got.
It should be an exciting day Saturday at Lehman Field with it being homecoming. Many football players coming back that used to wear the purple and white for the Bearcats. In fact, 2 former players or people with McKendree ties being inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame. It'll be an exciting day, and it should be a fun day at Lehman Field.
Yeah, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of former alumni coming back. It should be a great day, great weather. Hopefully a good game, and away we go.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget, we'll have the broadcast of the McKendree William Jewell game live on the Bearcat Sports Network. Nate Gatter will sit in for Joe Zidlow on the call, 12:45 pregame show, 1 o'clock kickoff at glvcsn.com/McKendree.